There are so many global challenges. We have the opportunity to make a difference. And I love being in the unique position of being the ambassador for that. I like that. I think we are the smallest office in the United Nations Secretariat. So we are in charge of space, which means not just for Earth, but also outer space. And we try to do that task with a grand total of, I think it's 35 people. So UNUSA was set up in the early 60s, before I was born, as the Secretariat to COPUS, which is the Committee on the Peaceful Uses of Outer Space. That committee convenes the member states who have, with all their work, produced the Outer Space Treaty and all of the other treaties, principles, guidelines and resolutions that underpin today's space economy worldwide. I fell into the space sector by accident. It was not by design. I didn't grow up thinking, oh, I want to work in the space sector. I didn't really know what it was. I grew up in quite a traditional Indian family. I was raised rather conservatively. And the only thing I think I was good at was languages at the time. So I wanted to study languages, but my parents always said that I would wind up as a bilingual secretary. So I had to do something smart. And so back in the day, I looked through then it was called UCA, now it's called UCAS. I didn't really care about law, but there was law with French law with German law, and I picked law with German law. And so I studied law with German law at King's College London. And I don't think I was really very good at it until I went to Germany. And the fact that I was very good at the language meant that I could really integrate. And that boosted my confidence enormously. And so when I came back to King's for my final year, I actually did really well. I got a 2-1. I was very happy with that. And I qualified as a solicitor in the UK. I worked for a law firm where 80% of the clients were German speaking. Acting, the public speaking part of it was really enjoyable. I loved that. And the other bit of it was the intellectual challenge. But after my articles, my training contract, I decided to do an MBA. It may have been to escape the route of an arranged marriage, but okay, that was not what the question was about. So I went off to Paris to do an MBA, which I finished at New York at Stern Business School. There was a German fair where a few German companies came to campus, and there was only 2 of us who could put our CVs into German. I was one of them. And Daimler-Benz Aerospace invited me for an assessment center. So I thought, okay, I don't know anything about the company, but it doesn't matter. I need practice in an assessment center, so I'll go and do that. And by the end of the 3 days, actually, I thought, wow, this is really exciting. Satellites, what's that? When you report to a board of CEOs, their focus is on results. I was telling a staff member just a couple of days ago that my chairman, the CEO of a French satellite operator, had said to me, we don't care how hard you've worked, the only thing we care about is the result. And I found that extremely harsh, but that's because when you're young, the inclination is to take things at a personal level. And it wasn't a personal comment. It was training me to look for the result, to focus on the output and the result, and not focus on what it takes to get there. When I came into the United Nations, I didn't expect to get this job. So it was quite overwhelming. And you always hear, fake it till you make it. But in fact, it takes a lot of energy to be somebody you're not. It really takes a lot of energy. And in this job, I face a lot of pressure, and I no longer have the energy to be somebody I'm not. And you see from the feedback that you get and the results that you deliver, that in fact you will achieve the most when you don't put on the mask and you don't put on the costume and you are yourself.